Hello everyone, I'm meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your 3 p.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. Now we've got news out of Beaufort County where 2 men are now behind bars after a drug investigation netted the 2 arrests. On Friday, Beaufort County deputies and Canine Rocky seized around 28 ounces of fentanyl, more than 45 ounces of cocaine, 7 guns, and just over $13,000 in cash from locations in Washington and Pitt County. Now, Christopher Creedle, 38 years old, was charged with the following: 3 counts of felony trafficking in fentanyl, 3 felony counts of trafficking in cocaine, 2 felony counts of sell and deliver cocaine, felony maintain a dwelling to keep and sell controlled substances, possession of marijuana, 2 counts of possession of a firearm by a felon, and 2 counts of possession of a stolen firearm. Now, Mark Allen Jr., 38, was charged with felony trafficking in cocaine by possession. Now, both men are being held in the Beaufort County Jail without bond. Now, we also want to turn our attention to an arrest out of Onslow County, specifically the Holly Ridge area, as a man is now facing charges after he allegedly had indecent liberties with a 13-year-old. Holly Ridge police on Thursday charged Benjamin Martin with indecent liberties with a child, exposed child to controlled substance, possession of methamphetamine, and possession of drug paraphernalia. Now, a 13-year-old victim was exposed to methamphetamine, and the warrants say that the crimes happened back on October 30th. The 46-year-old Martin was not given a bond because he was charged with a violent offense, according to court records. And now we turn to a developing story out of Washington, D.C., where Capitol Police made an arrest of a man in a tactical vest who was apparently charging the Capitol. NBC's Ryan Nobles has more.
A serious scare on Capitol Hill. According to authorities, 18-year-old Carter Camacho was wearing tactical gear and carrying a loaded weapon when he rushed the west front of the Capitol.
And we had a person exit that vehicle with a shotgun and begin running towards the Capitol.
Police say the teenager backed down when confronted by Capitol Police, but they found more ammunition, a Kevlar helmet, and a gas mask in his car. While the situation had the potential for tragedy, Capitol Police were prepared.
Just a few months ago, we had an active shooter exercise right here on the west front, virtually in the same spot.
Political violence is up across the board. In just the last year, Congresswoman Ilhan Omar was attacked at a town hall in Minnesota. Conservative political activist Charlie Kirk was assassinated at an event in Utah. In Minnesota, a state lawmaker and her husband were shot and killed in their home. There have been 2 assassination attempts against President Trump, and last April, the governor's mansion in Pennsylvania was set on fire. Governor Josh Shapiro telling Savannah in December that political violence of any kind should not be tolerated.
We need to begin by saying that all leaders must condemn all political violence, not cherry pick which violence to condemn and which violence to accept.
In Washington, Capitol Police are working in an increasingly politicized environment, but they say they've made security improvements since the January 6th attack.
I think democracy, we should expect disagreement, right? But we should never settle for violence, and we've seen way too much violence lately.
And again, that was Ryan Nobles reporting. We now turn to your weather forecast. It is a hot day across the east considering the time of year. If we were in, say, July, we'd consider this all right, a pretty cool day. But in February, 60s and 70s, not bad. Not bad. Here's a look at what we've got right now in Morehead City. Sanitary restaurant cam showing 60-degree air temperatures with a southwesterly wind at 18 miles an hour. That has been consistent. Warm temperatures, cloud cover, and southwesterly winds blowing in at a fairly healthy clip. It is a windy one out there, but over the next few hours, we will start to see those winds slowly relax. It's going to take some time because winds are, as as high as they are. Right now in Greenville, we're dealing with a 16-mile-per-hour breeze out of the west-southwest. Current air temp, though, over Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium, 72 degrees. That's not the only spot in the low 70s. We've got 71 in Williamston, Jacksonville, Elizabeth City. We're seeing 70 in Edenton, Rocky Mount, and Goldsboro. 74 currently in Stumpy Point, that usually runs hot. But 72 currently in Washington, New Bern, Kinston, Greenville, and Kenansville. So this isn't just like maybe a one or two spots hit the 70-degree mark. No, a good portion of the east right now is either in the low 70s or at least close by in the upper 60s. Now, as you get closer to the water, you are seeing obviously cooler temperatures due to the fact that the oceans tend to warm up and cool down at a much slower pace than the land does. That's why inland areas tend to experience the warmer temperatures sooner than the coast, but also is a big reason why they tend to cool off faster as well. When compared to where we were yesterday, most area airports are showing around a 7 to 15 degree rise in air temps since yesterday at 3 o'clock. Well, since yesterday at around 3:06. Now, winds are a big reason why we have gotten as warm as we've gotten today. We've seen, again, 15 to 25 mile an hour sustained winds across the east so far this afternoon. Here's our latest checkup. Still, again, seeing that same range. We will see a lot of those winds gradually calm down overnight tonight. It's going to be, again, I mentioned it earlier, a slow and gradual process. Right now, wind gusts generally between around 20 to 30 miles an hour, but at last checked, we actually had a 43-mile-per-hour gust in New Bern. So these winds are certainly blowing around, sometimes, in fact, exceeding tropical storm force gusts. I do want to say hello to Elaine Nichols. Hopefully you're having a fantastic Wednesday. And I've got some details for tomorrow for you, Elaine. 54 degrees at 7, 55 at 8, getting to 60 degrees by 10 a.m. tomorrow. Now, the cloud cover is going to remain largely consistent. In fact, cloud cover may get a little bit thicker tomorrow than what we've seen today. Today, the cloud cover has been thin enough at times to where the sunshine has been able to kind of blast its way through. Tomorrow, we're going to be seeing less of that, but maintaining air temperatures in the mid-50s overnight tonight into tomorrow morning will give us a pretty reachable low 70-degree high for tomorrow afternoon, despite, again, the cloud cover and the rain showers. Now, winds will still blow out of the southwest tomorrow, but going to do so at a much lighter speed, anywhere between around 7 to 15 miles an hour winds tomorrow, but we've got cold air on the way. It's going to be moving in as we make our way through the upcoming weekend. We'll see our first frontal boundary try to work its way through late Friday evening. The cloud cover and the rain showers that will show up over eastern North Carolina over the next 2 days, not all that impressive. Getting around a 20 to 30% chance of rain for your Thursday and Friday. From there, we get into the weekend, and this is where rain chances are going to be a little bit higher. On Saturday, it looks like Crystal Coast communities and really areas south of Highway 264 are largely going to be the ones seeing the rain showers for the first half of the weekend. But then we flip the script on Sunday, and we get more rain for not only those same areas along the Crystal Coast, but the northern counties of eastern North Carolina start to get into the mix. So, if you've got weekend plans that require you to be outside, you're probably going to want to have either a jacket or umbrella, or you're just going to have to be okay with some raindrops because it does look like on Saturday and Sunday there will be rain across the east, and those raindrops will bring about some cooler air temperatures. 76 degrees on Friday, turns to 62 on Saturday, 53 on Sunday. 45 on Monday. We will lose over 30 degrees of heat from Friday afternoon to Monday afternoon. Something, again, that eastern North Carolina is famous for. The quick flip of the season feel. Today, tomorrow, and the day after tomorrow, certainly going to have more of a spring-like feel to them. Coming up on Monday, it's going to feel like we are back in winter, which technically we are. But do want to say good afternoon to Quincella Bunn. Thank you so much for joining me over on Facebook, and you are welcome for the forecast. Hopefully it's the one you can plan your day around, and it's one that works out for you. Now, we will have more news and weather coming up at the top of the hour. Until then, have a fantastic rest of your Wednesday. We'll see you back here on the First Alert Desk coming up at 4 o'clock.